This is the Gore Club Podcast with Steve Vessel, Ace, and Deathmetal Dave.
I don't like that at all.
It's actually from Halloween 2018, and I fucking hate that guy. I'm so glad he died. The dad.
Wait, that was a line in Halloween 2018?
I got peanut butter on my penis.
Oh, he said I got magic juice on my penis.
I added my
those
own.
were your words. That was not in the movie.
It's true.
Evil dies tonight.
God damn it! They say that movie. They say that so many times. I finally went to the theater. No, actually, I went to the theater, and you heard that theater story. It was a nightmare. I watched it on Peacock.
Oh yeah.
And God, it's fucking awful.
It's great.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. I am not happy with that movie at all. I hated everybody in the fucking movie, and they brought back all the characters that I hated from the first film. It's great.
I got a buddy that's watched it like 10 times. He's like, it's the funniest movie I've ever seen.
It's fucking awful.
He obviously hasn't seen some of the movies
Jesus,
we're going to talk about. But,
Oh well.
hey,
We're not recording yet.
we're not recording. We're recording.
Oh,
Corey,
yeah, we are recording.
We're recording. Yay.
It's
we're
the
recording.
most wonderful time of the year.
Welcome to the Louisville Gore Club
Oh, that's right.
podcast.
I'm Steve Vessel.
I'm Deathmetal Dave.
I'm Ace.
And Dave's throwing daggers at me with his eyeballs.
He's singing that fucking Christmas music.
You should
What?
you should be singing on the warm side of the door.
So I wrote a little poem. This is going to be our holiday episode. I don't know why I did that. Okay, 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, all the monsters were scurrying, including Large Marge. That doesn't rhyme. Okay, whatever, man. All of the bodies were hung from the chimney with care in hopes that the sexually repressed young Billy from Silent Night Deadly Night was there. Did you check the children all dead in their beds while visions of Herbert West Reanimator made our boners go bad? This doesn't rhyme at all. And Ace in his dirtbag shirt and Deathmetal Dave, having just taken a crap, are just about to sit down and regale us with Gore Club holiday stories from their past. Let's dig in.
I didn't just take a shit.
You should have. You usually desecrate the fucking bathroom upstairs.
That's weird. That was a weird poem.
You're a regular Yeats.
I am. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
He did poetry, right?
No.
Did he not? I don't
No.
know.
I
That
don't-
sounded.
Lyric writing is poetry.
That's subjective.
Well, happy holidays, guys.
Hey.
I made everything festive on the table.
It is.
I even brought out the sexy
Hard candies.
hard candy, and you can have an orange slice.
I don't
Dave.
want an orange slice.
You,
Well,
he ate
no.
2 orange slices already.
I had 4.
The whole bowl's actually stuck together. It's just all one piece now.
This is the crap that I love as a kid that your mom or your grandparents or some crazy drunk uncle would have put out on the table during
Creepy
the
guy.
holidays.
Creepy guy in the van.
I tried to find as many of the old ones as I could. Yeah, the creepy guy. Holy shit, Dave. The real. This one's brown. I don't know why. But I'm going to eat it while you guys tell stories of your awesome.
Don't
awesome,
eat that on air.
Watch me.
It's like Christmas candy corn.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's awful.
It's
It's
just
awful.
been passed around from people to people over the years.
Well, you never know what you're going to get. Is it like a licorice flavor? Is it chocolate? Is this filled with?
That candy's probably as old as I am. He said, "Holiday memories. Get away from the mic with your dirty chewing mouth. Turn that off."
Crunch.
Ace, do you have any holiday memories?
Holiday memories.
Yeah.
Try to share a positive. For years when I was a kid, I was really into the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
I like you're going to try to tell everyone.
And for like years and years, I was like, all I want for Christmas or my any holiday, I just wanted the Ghostbusters proton pack.
Oh, with the
toy.
squiggly nerve thing on
With
the front.
squiggly
Yeah.
nerve thing. I had the trap that you could stomp on to catch the ghost. Did not have the proton pack.
Doesn't do you much good without the
I
proton
know.
pack.
So for years, from probably that was on like early '90s. Just every Christmas, I'd be like, man, this is going to be the year I'm going to get that proton pack.
And then when he was 16,
He bought his own after stealing money out of
Dude,
mom's
I go to like antique store. I never got it. I go to like antique stores now, and there'll be like a proton pack like in the box. It'll be like $300, and I'm like, do I want to buy this part of my childhood back?
The answer is yes.
Yes, maybe
no,
I
just
do.
fuck it. Hasbro is putting out a new one. It's like fucking $300. It's screen accurate. Just get that
Yeah,
one.
I know.
Yeah, it's amazing. I saw it at the Halloween store during the last month. During the last month.
No, this one's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
They haven't even made
the
it
one
yet.
that I saw, I think it was a Spirit Halloween. It looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, those are cool too.
Yeah, sorry, this wasn't like a screen accurate reproduction.
This,
Probably
this one was.
this was affordable
It's
for
like
the children.
It's like
Dave.
$400.
God damn.
It's on their HasLab thing now. So basically, like Kickstarter for Hasbro. They're like, we don't have any money, so if you really want this, you got to pay for
That's
it.
such bullshit.
I did it, and I got Hero Quest. Whatever. I got a board game that I wanted. Let's see.
It looks really cool.
A holiday memory. Well, I don't want to tell the most depressing one. Steve's like, come up with the sad one. I'm like, I don't want to fucking bring the house down, man.
I've seen Gremlins. It's all right.
So, this one was still pretty traumatizing. So when I was a kid, kid of the '80s, what did we like? Transformers, He-Man, all that stuff. Man, I wanted Megatron and I wanted Optimus Prime. It's Christmas morning.
You wanted a gun in a truck.
I opened up my first present. There's Megatron. So I got Megatron. And then I opened up another one, and I got Optimus Prime. I was so stoked.
Holy fuck you, man.
And then my brother was like, hey, let's see if he can fly, and threw him across the fucking room, and he shattered into a million pieces.
My God.
Yeah.
This is a sad story, Dave.
Yeah.
This is a sad story.
Yeah.
You
would've been
fucking
so
tricked
mad.
me.
I wish Megatron was fucking real. I would have shot him right then and there.
Oh
Yep.
my God.
Yeah. He just threw him across the room, and he blew up into a million pieces.
Holy shit.
And the funny thing is my parents then, they took away one of his toys and they just threw it in a closet. Fast forward to about like 7 years ago. My mom's cleaning out her closet, right? There's a first edition Snake Eyes in the box, just in
my
the back of the
gosh.
closet.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Revenge is sweet.
I really wanted to take it, but my brother got to it first, so I'm sure he pawned it or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That is sad.
Yeah.
I thought you were going
That's
to be like,
really sad.
I opened up the other one, and it was Soundwave. And I was like, no.
Soundwave ruled, man.
Soundwave was pretty cool. He had a little dog and a little pterodactyl
Do you have the
cassette
tape
tapes.
player? Yeah. You have the
Between
tape player.
my neighbor, in one of the homes that I lived in, we moved a lot. But my neighbor 2 houses down was my best friend, and I was like 11. And between us, we had everything G.I. Joe ever put out. And I mean everything. He had the fucking aircraft carrier.
Oh, wow.
No, we had it all, dude. It was insane. I had the base.
Yeah. It's like the
Yeah,
size of this
yeah.
table.
So like my family wasn't necessarily well off, but his family was doing very well. So whatever we would make a list. I was like, okay, I'll ask for this, you ask for that, you ask for, and it worked out. Same thing with He-Man, Snake Mountain, Gray Skull. All the fucking ships, everything. And when I couldn't get, I was a massive, awful thief. Because my best friend before that taught me how to steal when I didn't have any money. And what a fucking asshole. But it worked out. My mom would be like, what you got this week? And I would pour out a whole basket of shit. And it's an awful story, but it's so true.
Little klepto Steve, just don't let him in your house. He might leave
He-Man,
with all your toys.
G.I. Joe. My neighbor was the big stormtrooper, Transformer guy. He had all that shit. I had Shockwave. What's the purple gun? I can't remember who actually like looked after oh my god! Every
Stormtrooper?
every Transformer person is going to kick my ass right now. What's the guy who watches over the planet while they're all gone? He's like the purple gun. Holy shit, guys!
No, I have no idea.
I don't know, man.
I am redeemed because nobody remembers.
Because after the Optimus Prime incident, I was just like, fuck it, give me Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, those were awesome too.
I was just Ninja Turtles, Batman, and Ghostbusters when I was a kid.
I recently found all my Ninja
those Batman
Turtles.
toys were awesome.
I recently found all my Ninja Turtles, and I was going through and pricing them, and holy hell, I'm selling every single one of them.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, I kept the cards, and I would put all their accessories in a bag with them, like a little Ziploc bag, so I wouldn't lose anything.
Oh, you were smart.
So I have like
Not me.
the Ninja Turtle with all its accessories and a card.
Oh man.
So it's not on card, but I was smart enough to do that. That's why I don't open any of my figures now.
I still have all my Ninja Turtles and some of that stuff. And immediately when I was a kid, I was just like, rip.
Oh yeah.
I was like, accessories, I'll never need these. Throw them away somewhere and never see
And
them
that's what I
again.
was banking on when I was a kid. I'm like, one of these days, these are going to be worth money because I was always collecting things when I was a kid. Like, I collected comic books and things like that, and magic cards, and I'd get those for Christmas too. And I'd just go through them and find the ones that I thought would be worth money, and I'd put them away. Comic books, same thing. Anything that said number 1 on it, I was buying that shit.
I did that in the 90s, but then you do realize that everybody did that in the 90s, and it kind of ruined the comic. It did.
Comic books in
It
the
did.
90s were like,
I have all of my comics in the other room, and I still have all the ones my dad gave me. And I can't imagine. I'd like to go through there. I should let Dave do it. He'd be like, God damn. I just hear him every once in a while because some of those are actually still worth something if you find the right variant.
Yeah.
Like, you remember like the Spider-Man comic book that came out, the McFarlane one. He's like the gold and the silver. And it's like, some of those are still worth money. It's just like when people, Star Wars came out on VHS. You had the silver box and the gold box.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that
We
crap.
were talking about that earlier because they shared the video about
Oh,
the
yeah.
guy, the guy talking about grading your VHS, and he's like, "This Star Wars set was 2 years ago was like worth $200. Now it's worth $15,000." And I'm like,
stupid.
if somebody
What?
wants to give me $15,000 for a fucking Star Wars VHS, go ahead. I'm gonna put that shit up on eBay tomorrow. I'm just gonna put it in a little capsule. I'll write 9.0 on it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. I'm doing the same thing that guy's doing, right? Just grading it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The guy, I don't know this guy. He made this video. He's a total jackass, but he was like, "What?" He was like, "A year ago, nobody was even collecting VHS or even cared." And
He's
now
probably
the
a Gore
market
Club
has
podcast
boomed."
fan.
And I'm like, and I was just like, "Wait, a year ago? Like what? Like maybe you like there's like you go back 8-9 years ago. There's people making like full-length documentaries about collecting VHS.
Yeah, that
like,
one guy's been collecting Jerry Maguire VHS
yeah,
tapes since
for like
the
10
early
years.
Yeah.
More.
There's a format documentary on Tubi right now. It goes from VHS, DVD to Blu-ray, and it's a great documentary.
Yeah.
But we don't need somebody to jump in here, and the VHS collectors that I am, that is going to be like, I'll grade your VHS
Yeah.
for $100. I'm like,
Put
go
it in a
fuck
little
yourself.
plastic thing here.
Is it just all about porn? The
Yeah.
documentary.
It's so stupid.
I do have friends that collect big box porn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when I was at VHS Fest, there was a lot of big box porn there.
Yeah, I mean, big box. Oh, speaking of tonight, we're doing Silent Night, Deadly Night. The very first one,
Speaking of porn.
live entertainment released. There was a big box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about going through like a little bit of the history of the holiday, of like Jesus.
No.
No, I'm just joking. Long before Jesus walked the earth, we had like Saturnalia. You had Odin in German, like O-D-E-N, by the way. You had Krampus. You had so many things. I know people wanted us to do a Krampus episode, considering that I run a Krampus event here in Louisville. But I don't know, maybe next year. It's not that. I want to dig into the heart of the greatest franchise ever created.
I think you're wrong there.
I think I am too.
The greatest franchise ever created seems like a stretch. I mean, there's some good movies in this. There's some.
Are there?
And there's some good parts.
Okay, there we go.
And
Yeah.
each one of the movies has something to offer. Something.
Yeah, this.
Laughs.
Oh my God! Think about this. Okay, this holiday has been a source of turmoil for the world over many, many years. I mean, for decades, for hundreds of years. And it wasn't until, 1828 or some shit like that, where they changed the laws because of like Christmas riots. That's crazy. That kind of shit happens. I looked up all kinds of different facts. I was going to do a huge, long spiel, but let's not do that. Let's just open to Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I'm just hoping one day that we could win the war on Christmas. 'Cause
Wait, which side are we on?
we're battling every day to destroy Christmas.
Yeah.
And we're gonna win.
Fuck you, Ace.
There's two kinds of people. There's the person that says Happy Holidays, and there's the other person that says No, it's Merry Christmas.
Holy crap.
I wish Billy would fucking visit those people. Anyway, so this movie Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I heard about it.
I heard about it, and it's an enchanting tale about a young kid whose grandfather scares the crap out of him.
It's going to get you, boy.
Dude, that alone, just that one scene, if nothing else happened to him after that, that alone would be justified if he was like, yeah, he killed a bunch of people because his grandpa said this to him when he was a kid. And I would believe that.
Because Santa punishes the naughty.
He's like, your daddy told you that, didn't he?
Between that crazy fucker and Mother Superior, it's duh. Of course, Billy's insane. We're talking about Billy Chapman, by the way. Yes. Silent Deadly Night Part 1 came out in '84, and it's directed by Charles Sellier.
Sellier.
He did The Life and Times of Grizzly Adams, another great fucking
Yeah.
holiday movie, by the way. Is Elves.
Yeah.
The Boogans.
He did a bunch of like religious films, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow with Jeff Goldblum, The Boogans,
He was a producer on The Boogans.
and a bunch of paranormal like movies, and then this.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. And then is written by Mike Hickey, and I can't really find much on him.
He basically did this.
Yeah, he did like a restoration on Vertigo, I think, Alfred Hitchcock film, and that's really it. But I mean, you have a great cast, actually. This is a well-made movie that they could have benefited from a better cinematographer, I guess. But
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. The cast is pretty cool.
Yeah, the cast is good. Honestly, the music and all the score and everything, all that's great. Like a lot of that stuff I thought was music that just existed, but I think it was written for the movie, like that, like Santa's coming.
Yeah,
that thing. Even like the opening titles, where it just comes up and it's like that. It's just like Silent Night,
Starry
Terror.
Night. Yeah.
And it's like that, like that music on there. Like, oh, that's so good. And like, I love that.
It was made for $750,000, and it made 2.5.
That's good.
It's amazing for a very low budget film. Not even $1 million.
Yeah.
And of course, most people know Linnea Quigley's scene because they even used that in part 2. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Lillian Chauvin is Mother Superior. She is so terrifying to me when I was a kid.
She was in Predator 2.
She's in Predator 2.
And
She's in,
Universal Soldier.
Yeah. Oh, God, I know that one. Star Trek, DS9, X-Files, Ugly Betty. She actually passed away in 2008 from heart failure linked with breast cancer treatments. And it's fucked. But, I mean, she seemed like a good person. But this movie, I just wanted her to die.
2008?
Yeah, 2008.
Damn, in 84, she looked like she was. She looked 84 years old in 1984.
She's a method actor.
Yeah, and you've got Robert Brian Wilson as Billy Chapman.
Strapping young lad.
Dude, he's a fucking bodybuilder. I guess they work out.
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus. Him and his brother, but we'll get to that too. Let's see. Gilmer McCormick is Sister Margaret. So Sister Margaret actually was born here in Louisville, Kentucky,
Oh shit!
and she lives here again. Huh. Yep, she's the one
And
shining.
here she is.
Right, she's our guest tonight.
Come on in.
No. She is part of the art scene here in Louisville.
Well, that's the last movie she did.
I do not know.
No, that was the last movie she did.
No.
That's what it says here. It could be wrong, but
it's Deathmetal Dave. This is the last movie she did.
that's it. So
I thought about trying to contact her and see if she would just have some fun with this, but to be honest, I was like, she probably might tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah. It was something I did 37 years ago.
just call her and say punish.
She's the one shining light in this whole movie that gives it any kind of heart.
Yeah.
There's a really unnecessary, kind of rape scene in the beginning. They show that too many times.
Yeah.
I guess they only have one Santa suit in 1984 because it's the exact same one they suit him up in when he goes crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Passing around.
Yeah, they just had one style. Santa wasn't very stylish. You just had the same suit every day.
Oh my God! Well, I went out of my way years ago to try to find a suit just like that, and it's nearly impossible. You just have to make your own cosplay style.
Yeah.
So I was really, really into it, and then they released the action figure, and those are the best people, I think. If you're gonna do like me, if you're gonna draw for something for a shirt or whatever, just go to some people who've done all of the homework. I mean, they have really went crazy when it came to making that action figure.
Yeah.
It's badass. But are we really gonna talk about Silent Night Deadly Night 1?
Let me talk about it a little
Well,
bit.
we got to talk about Ira's Toys, which is probably the greatest toy store I've ever seen in my
Holy
life.
shit. Rewatching that movie, I was like, that is a gold mine. If you could just go back in time and be like, don't touch any of this, don't open it.
It's the
Just put it
Jabba
in-
the Hutt.
Speaking of toys, yeah.
Yeah, that guy would be, Ira would be fucking rich.
Yeah, he's got the Kroll board game, the Jabba the Hutt, the whole figure in the box.
Yeah, there's a monster makeup effects kit behind
Yeah.
the cash register. When Billy is getting suited up, he is surrounded by Ben Cooper costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, completely. I'm like,
It's just like a
holy
gold
fuck!
mine in there.
Ones I've never even seen, and I'm a costume freak.
Yeah.
Some of those I've never seen before.
Yeah, just if we could just go back to that time and just steal all those toys, like National Treasure, but toys.
And they got away with that because they didn't have to worry about licensing as much back then.
Yeah.
They didn't understand how much money was into that kind of thing. So
And nowadays, Disney would just be like, your movie is over. I will destroy your life.
there's Castle Grayskull sitting right behind them as they're getting drunk at the party. And by the way, are they going to bring back department store drunk parties anymore, or what?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, the internet's killed all that.
Also, that guy Ira, I like him too in that movie.
Yeah, he's been in a couple of roles.
He shows up as soon as Andy shows up, he's like, I need a man working here, and then Andy shows up or Billy shows
Little
up.
Andy from Toy
Yeah.
Story.
Billy shows up and he's just standing there, and the dude Ira's just like, oh Billy,
oh, Billy.
he's just like, oh what a. He's just he's like, you want to get drunk at this Christmas party, Billy?
Come on, Billy.
We do need to sort of set up because we're going to be talking about the other movies in the
That's
series.
true.
We don't have to talk about every single thing, but
Right.
the gist of it is Billy goes to the orphanage. He's got his little brother Ricky there with him, and he gets punished a lot.
Man, viciously.
Yeah, stuff
But-
that's not even his fault. Like he just happened to see two people having sex, and they're just like, no.
Beating the living fuck out of him.
Mother Superior is just not having it.
Dude.
You do something wrong, punishment. You get punished, and that just fucks him up. And then he eventually one day snaps,
Yeah,
and he punishes people. But one thing we have to talk about for real is the how this movie was very controversial because you can't have Santa murdering people.
Yeah, it wasn't even the first Killer Santa movie made. It's not.
Yeah.
But I guess somehow it just got more press than anybody else. And boy, they went to town on this movie. Like it was The Exorcist.
Well, I mean, in its opening weekend, it grossed over $1 million.
yeah.
In '84.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, it outgrossed A Nightmare on Elm Street, which opened the same day on, and it
Holy shit.
and it was on well, that was on fewer screens, but still it was pulled from theaters within the first 10 days. So,
God damn. Thanks for digging, Dave.
yeah, I mean, but people were upset because you can't have Santa Claus killing people. It's like, but can't you though?
Oh, yes, you
they
can.
did.
Yeah.
They did. But yeah, there was if you go back, you can find old news stories about Killer Santa. Is it right? Is it wrong? So
yeah, the Blu-ray I got has clips from newspapers where people had said stuff about it, how my child wouldn't even sit on Santa's lap after he saw the preview for this movie. I'm like, really? Is that really
I'm pretty sure they ran it at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
they
why-
didn't run it Saturday morning cartoons.
yeah,
so.
first of all, why are your kids watching that anyways, parents?
Yeah, we'll blame the parents every time.
Yeah.
but they were going to re-release it. Instead of the original trailer, which was Night Before Christmas themed trailer, they had a new one centered around the whole controversy. It got pulled from the theater. It's that bad, and that would have definitely helped.
Hell yeah, it's like a video nasty. You tell people it's a video nasty. Banned in 31 countries. People started lying about their movies being banned in other countries, and so
Yeah.
people would go, I want that. It's like putting a PMRC sticker on stuff in the 90s. It's like, I'm buying this fucking thing.
But
this is good.
If you've never seen it, Brutal Kills, Linnea Quigley's kill, probably the most iconic in the
It
movie.
is the most iconic. And that and the kid coming down the slope.
Yeah.
The two bullies who steal the sleds from those poor little kids.
Yeah.
And then one of them gets their head chopped off and he just comes out, punish!
Yeah, both those scenes were cut. So if you have the Blu-ray of it, they restored it about as good as they could. But
Yeah.
the Blu-ray it actually shows him lifting Linnea up, and he shows the horns coming out of her stomach while he's holding her there. So
Yeah.
there's obviously a quality change in between those scenes, but it looks really cool, and there's a lot more scenes of the headless body going down the hill, which looks really cool too. They kind of cut some of that stuff for theaters, but the Blu-rays definitely, if you can get a hold of that, I'd suggest buying it.
You should get a hold of that, and you know what you should also get a hold of? Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2.
Part 2.
Eric Freeman, the eyebrows.
Okay, I looked it up. I was going to actually do it myself, but you know what I'm going to talk about? Yeah, the eyebrow acting guy who rivals Danielle Harris in Hatchet 2, because if you watch Hatchet 2, you can't get away from her eyebrow acting, and she's actually a pretty good actress, and I was like, what are you doing? This one, I think it's recorded. He did it 130 times.
Yeah, Corey was talking about having a drinking game with it. He's like, every time somebody overreacts with their eyebrows, I was like, what the fuck are you trying to do?
You're going to kill.
Trying to have a good time. Okay?
Yeah,
Corey's all about having a good time.
nothing like having your stomach pumped.
Yeah.
So the second one, directed by Lee Harry, the budget was only $250,000 and it made $154,000. It was not a big thing.
Yeah.
No, it was not by any means. And if you've seen it, you know why.
If you've seen it, it's because you saw the internet meme of him saying "Garbage Day."
That's the one everyone knows. They don't even know what that's from.
Yeah.
And it's like, my note was like, Eric Freeman, Ricky is locked in an insane asylum. He's ready to act with his eyebrows.
Yeah.
And Ricky is Billy's younger brother.
Yes, he is. He got to see his brother being murdered in front of him at the end of part 1. And we're going to spoil everything. So just, you should be used to that by now. This is Gore Club Podcast.
Yeah.
We spoil everything.
Also, he's telling. Well, first of all, the doctor comes in there and he's like, "You can call me. Well, I can't remember whatever the doctor's name is, but you can call me Doc." And he goes, fuck off, Doc. I just started laughing at that too. I was like, that's a good line.
He's dressed up like Johnny Depp from Crybaby.
Yeah.
Did anybody else notice that?
It's such like the movie's he's so poorly acted that it's great.
Okay, so what I read was that they were telling him to overreact and overact.
Yeah.
So he thought it was supposed to be like a Freddy Krueger character. So every fucking line is supposed to be funny and overdone. And he disappeared.
Yeah.
He, as an actor and I guess as a human being, they couldn't find him for the special edition that came out not too long ago to do commentary. And then apparently one of his friends was like, man, they're talking about you like you're the greatest thing ever. More like Troll 2 kind of greatest thing ever.
Have a
best
sense
of
of
the
humor
worst.
about yourself.
Yeah.
Well, this came out in '87 after a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and you know the funny horror film was sort of the '80s funny campy horror film was established at this point.
But that's another thing. It's 3 years later, but Ricky's 18 now.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
he aged like 9 years. And he's 18, but he's like absolutely just jacked in this movie. Like that dude, like I would not mess with that dude.
It's like I know it's like his shrink looks like David Gale from Reanimator, and the other one was like cue the first of many flashbacks that will take up the majority of part 1.
Dude, the
Oh my
flashbacks.
God.
The flashbacks in this movie, like he's flashing back to times where he wasn't even there.
I know.
Like, how does he remember that?
Oh, right now he's a baby.
Yeah. He goes, I was a baby. I was there. I
he watched the
remember it."
VHS.
Well, he explains that Billy tells him things, and it's like, oh, Billy shows like all of his memories are from Billy's point of view. I get that, but some of them Billy's not even there.
Yeah, Billy's not even. They're showing the two cops driving around. Billy wasn't there. How does he remember that? Like, he's just telling the story. Like, he remembers it.
I remember it was like it's yesterday. Those two cops were just driving around, and Billy wasn't even there.
Let me tell you about this sex scene that happened. That I got, what the fuck? Multiple sex scenes.
Yeah.
And he was a baby, and he has a flashback of what happened to his parents.
Yeah.
I think they just have to show that in every movie. Like they showed it in the third one too, and they're like,
Yeah,
hey.
it's hard.
Well, it's an awful scene to watch because it's way too long.
Yeah.
Very static shot of what's going on. You're just like, no, I don't like this at all.
My next note was Mother Superior, punishment is absolute and punishment is good. That's just a flashback from part 1.
Yeah. She's like, you'll see my methods work.
But when
Do they?
God damn it.
when Ricky goes on this killing spree, let's just talk about this first killing spree he goes on. The garbage day. He walks out and just starts fucking shooting people.
Just gets. Well, that's after he like puts the fucking jumper cables in that dude's mouth.
Yeah.
It's just like, ah.
Let's go back and just a little bit and talk about okay, so this movie is very anti-Catholic.
Yeah.
Part 2 especially. It's demented as fuck. It shows how Catholicism, and I know a lot of people who've been through the Catholic system, either in Catholic school. I know people who are ordained. It's a wild. You hear some of the stories they'll tell you behind closed doors or at a party when they're really sloshed, or just family events. Because most of my family is Irish Catholic, and it's like, holy crap! I'm glad that I didn't get to go through all of this. And then there's a scene when Ricky's out with his mom. Or his adopted mother, and then the nuns are coming and they're shopping behind him.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the most horrifying music ever.
Yeah.
It's like, "Brr, brr, brr," and they disappear, and they come out, and that itself is like a huge stalking scene, and it's just nuns going shopping behind him.
Yeah.
It freaks him out. It builds him up, and he's explaining this to the shrink, and the shrink's just going, "This is awful. I'm out of tape."
That shrink also gets like wildly inappropriate where he's just like, and then Billy starts asking him, or Ricky starts asking him questions, and then the shrink just starts telling him stuff about like, well, we never had children, blah blah. And he's like, well, why am I telling you this? Like he's such a criminal mastermind.
One of the other flashbacks is Billy being suited up at the toy store.
Yeah.
Because I guess Billy wrote him a note during his rampage and sent it to him.
It's like, I never saw you again after this, but here's all my memories. It's just like,
This is exactly what's gonna happen, guy.
Did he take a break in between killing everybody and write a little note to his brother at the orphanage?
And
He's like,
who hand delivered this note? That's what I'm saying. Like this note's probably evidence.
he's just like Professor X, and he's just like, wah, 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 wah. It's like memories to you.
And it's, by the way, it's the suit that Billy wears in the first film is the exact same suit that he wears, like that got the Santa that killed his parents.
Yeah.
So when he has a flashback of the robbery, there's actually a scene of the robbery that he's watching in television.
On the movie screen.
That's in the movies. Yeah. He takes the girl on the date. This is right before he goes on his main rampage. So he takes the girl out. They're having a good time. Her ex-boyfriend shows up. Is a real fucking prick.
Yeah.
Ricky has his own anger issues. He disappears for a minute, comes back, then they go, and then it seems like it's the same day. Did they go to the movies in the daytime?
I think so.
It looks like they were in the movies in somebody's basement.
Oh, God.
Like,
What a big
honestly,
budget for this movie. They couldn't afford a real theater.
the first few people they kill in this movie, I'm not real angry about. Because
No.
that guy, the boyfriend, he was just a dick.
You're right. And now the rampage begins.
Yeah, after the boyfriend, you're like, okay, well, that guy didn't deserve it or whatever. He was just taking his trash out. He's like, what? No. Just...
Hit it, Dave. You want to talk about this rampage? It's the only scene in the movie that's actually really, really good.
Yeah, and he just let's see. He kills the guy. He kills the first guy.
The ex-boyfriend of the girl
ex-boyfriend.
she's dating.
Then he
Puts him against the his own car because he's working on a Mustang. He walks up, and by the way, Ricky
red
is
Mustang.
even bigger than Billy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they went. I guess they went to Gold's Gym and started casting this
they're
role.
feeding him well in this orphanage.
Fucking A, man. So he just picks him up, throws him on the inside of his car, and takes the jumper cables and kills him with enough power from a battery. And I don't know. His eyeballs blow up.
Yeah,
it's
it's
really
great.
good,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, he uses the antenna to strangle Jennifer.
Oh, I know, and she didn't deserve it. She was just like, you know what? I don't think we want to date anymore. You just killed my ex-boyfriend.
Well, before that, he stuck an umbrella through somebody, and then like the umbrella comes out on the other side. It's all covered in blood.
And the security guard's like, "Hey, you stop!" And then Billy just takes his gun, fucking shoots him. Now he's got a gun.
He shoots that poor kid across the street who's wearing like a Dallas Cowboy outfit. He just shoots him. By the way, nobody's walking outside besides that guy. And the cop shoots up and gets right in his face. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm like right next to Dave.
Yeah.
You better stop. Don't take my gun. You stay right there.
Yeah.
And he looks like Barney Fife.
Oh, yeah. It's like the first time a cop ever showed up to stop something. It's like this guy actually shows up. He's like, hey, stop. You're like, well, that would never happen in real life.
His car has yellow lights. I'm not going to take him serious.
Yeah.
It's not even red or blue lights. It's yellow, like
Yeah.
hazard. Like, I might have to pull you over.
Yield. And then he gets to the garbage day scene.
That's the great thing.
It's the guy's just taking out his trash. Garbage day. Oh, it's so good. You can just stop right there. You don't even need to explain the rest of the movie.
Well, he walks and walks and walks. The cops actually, I like it. He walks across that intersection and they have a roadblock. And he's just like, oh, well, how's it going over there, guys?
Oh, that's right, because you get the car the car that flips right there, right?
Yeah.
Which they really did, and it looks like it almost hit him.
It came really fucking
That was a
close.
straight up like trauma car flip. Where it was just like, it just like flipped over on its side.
And I don't know if that was actually Freeman or was it a stunt double or whatever, but it was like you said, it was inches from his fucking head.
Yeah.
And you watch that in slow motion, and I'm like, holy fuck. And then the cops show up, and then what's he going to happen? What's he going to do? I'm going to kill myself
Killed himself.
with an empty gun. Wah, wah. No, man, we have to arrest you. No.
Also, after he like kills people, he'll just like shoot somebody, and then he just kind of laughs to himself, or he shoots somebody, and he goes,
It's so bad.
like the whole time, which is so funny.
And I like it. They go to Sister Margaret, and they're like trying to talk to her, or like I guess it's the new Sister Margaret character, and they're like, oh, we don't know where he's gonna go, and they're like, he's going for the Mother Superior, dude.
Yeah.
Well, she's not here. She had a stroke, and obviously turned to the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah,
as
what
well.
happened to her face in between
I
1 and 2?
don't know.
I kept thinking, I was like, was there something from part 1? Did she catch on fire and I just forgot about it? she's like,
Life
fucking-
happened.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not the same actress. I guess that was their way of trying to like cover up that's a completely different actress.
Maybe she was
Yes.
flipping through channels and accidentally saw some porn and punished herself.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
Dude, she looks like she got dumped in one of those Jason Takes Manhattan like toxic waste barrels. Like it's just like a whole fucked up face.
It's so bad.
She gets hers,
Does she?
does she? Pretty
Yeah,
sure she does.
Her fucking head just rolls right off.
Well, it stays on there conveniently for a very long time before it falls off.
I like to think that he designed that beautifully. It's a beautiful set. You walk in, she's there to greet you, and then they're just trying to shake her, like, "You okay?" No, I'm not okay. I have a
She
headache.
obviously wasn't.
I know, and that scene is so funny because she turns around, she just screams at the cop, and then Ricky's right there.
Yeah.
There's like, I guess he was there the whole time. I like how you're all shaking your head.
was
Like
there
you
the
don't
whole
know
time.
either. There's no way to explain it, man.
There's never a way to explain it.
No, poor Ricky. I actually
Yeah.
felt bad for that.
Poor Ricky.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, poor Ricky. But when you get to Silent Night, Deadly Night 3,
Holy fuck.
Ricky's been replaced. And who's playing Ricky now? None other than Bill fucking Moseley.
Oh shit.
He's got a transparent brain dome.
He's got like, think if you've never seen it, think Bruce Campbell, Man with the Screaming Brain.
Oh my God, yeah, it is.
Yeah, same thing.
It's like a Jello bowl.
He's got a Jello bowl on his head.
I don't know.
Full of Kool-Aid, just shaking
And
around.
it's got like one bleeping light. And what we're talking about is Bill Moseley replaces Freeman as Ricky.
Yes.
He's in a coma, correct?
Yes, because half of his head is missing.
Yeah.
Do they explain that?
No.
He didn't get shot in the head, though, right?
Okay.
He got shot in the chest.
That's not how it works, man.
It's
That's exactly how it works.
Well, he was in a
apparently.
coma, and they did experimental surgery on him. Now he has a psychic connection with
And
Laura.
they brought in a psychic this time. They're like, hey, get in this killer's mind. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, it didn't take them 7 movies to get to a psychic connection. Only 3.
So this movie is batshit nuts, and it's kind of boring. And the director is Monty Hellman. Okay, I looked him up. He did Two Lane Blacktop, which I fucking love. Beast from the Haunted Cave, which is a interesting movie. He shot extra scenes for Fistful of Dollars, and he's the producer on Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. I
What
saw that.
the
I was
fuck?
like,
So he has made some good choices in his life then.
Okay. And then he did that.
this movie, it's just really boring. It's got that guy, Benjamin from Twin Peaks, who plays the doctor in it, Dr. Newberry. He was in Twin Peaks. That was the other guy I recognized from this movie. And there's the scene where he says, you know how a pea brain gets his belt off? And it's like a little jerk
Oh
off
my
move.
God. I love it. It's a very well written movie.
Yeah, it had some good moments, but there was some like. So the gist of this one is she has a psychic connection with Ricky, and he wakes up. Ricky wakes up.
I was excited. I was expecting like Carry on Ice. It's
Yes.
fucking,
Yeah.
it's the winter time. No, I didn't get that.
The thing about it is like it's the
And she's blind.
she is blind, but she has a psychic connection, so she's using another sense. I guess I don't know.
Well, when you go blind, your other senses heighten.
Yeah.
So
she's
she's
doing
I
a,
read on the internet.
she's doing a sleep study in the same place that Ricky is being held
Yeah.
for experimentation. And then, true haunting style, a little Shirley Jackson twist. Hey, you all are connected. What do you
He's
know?
like- He wakes up and he's like, Laura.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's so bad. It's all like Dune, like inner voice shit.
Yeah. Bill Moseley wasn't too far away from Texas Chainsaw 2 when he did this movie either, I
No,
don't think.
no.
So I'm just like,
Well,
Well, he did it afterwards.
was it after this?
Oh,
or
yeah.
before? Yeah.
Yeah.
he's warming up.
Yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, I believe, is the very first film that Bill Moseley ever did.
Yeah.
He did the Texas Chainsaw Manicurist, and then he got
Yeah,
that role.
yeah, okay, yeah.
So, and then this was like
Close to
Crash
it.
and Burn era, Army of Darkness background guy. That's this era.
He's got the fucked up face,
Yeah, he looks great. That's what happens when you get shot in the stomach.
yellow mold.
The thing about this movie is like, so there's some things that are just like, okay, whatever. I guess this will happen. So like, Ricky breaks out right after he's already killed people in the hospital. So he's on the side of the road in his fucking robe, like his hospital gown, like brain all hanging out, like hitchhiking. Somebody pulls over to pick him up, and the guy's like, "What are you doing for Christmas?"
I can't remember this before or after the toboggan, the beanie on his head.
No,
Oh, that's
It's the
before.
most
Yeah.
unconvincing. Yeah, that's right.
Before,
Okay,
because
yeah,
he has
yeah,
to
yeah.
kill the guy to
Yeah,
take
that's
his
right.
take his hat.
The guy doesn't even mention the big bowl on his head.
Yeah, he doesn't even.
It's
he's
just a normal thing.
That guy is a saint. He's like, look at this strange fella out here. Let's get him. They must have been filming this in Canada because none fucking Americans wouldn't fall for that shit. No, I guess they would.
Oh, yes, they would.
I
You
never-
put an
first-
American flag on that guy, you'd be all right.
Dude, if I'm driving down the road and some guy with his brain showing with a bowl like and a little beep, I would not stop. And if I did stop, the first thing I would be like is, "Holy shit, what the fuck is on your head?"
Oh, my
And then he breaks into this old lady's house and she's just like, "Let me get you some dinner." She just shares her Thanksgiving dinner. Man, the fucking 80s were a wild time, guys.
one of my notes was I didn't even realize she was blind until like 10 minutes into the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, we watched this one together, and Steve's like, "Holy shit, she's blind."
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Dave and I watched this movie together.
Yeah, because it was off last week. It's like, hey, you want to come over at fucking midnight and watch Silent Night, Deadly Night, fucking 3?
I just wanted to be like Carry on Ice or fucking Daredevil or something cool, and goddamn it, is not. And then you bring in the singer from Ugly Kid Joe.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I just wrote down curly headed fuck and his bitch girlfriend.
Oh my god.
She's terrible too. And that's the blind girl, that's her brother, and he's dating someone who looks exactly like his sister, which is kind of weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Hey, his sister will never know she's blind.
He's also got the Canadian tuxedo on, as you do in the 80s.
See, I said it. I said we were watching. I was like, Ace is going to comment about this guy's Canadian tuxedo. Do you
Well,
have,
so nice.
Does anybody else have anything else on this one? Because I've really got to go to the. I really want to talk about number 4.
There's all, well, at the end of it, they kill that guy, and he goes, he's like, is it live or is it Memorex? Which is a timely reference.
That's beautiful. No, my last note was Bill Moseley is thumbing it down the road and gets picked up by the Jeepers Creepers van.
Yeah, it was a Jeepers Creepers. It's like the creeper picked him up.
That would have been a great movie. You have Carrie, you have fucking Brainiac. I don't know. Then you got the creeper.
yeah.
We can dig right into Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, or also known as Initiation.
The best one in the series.
Also known as Bugs.
Bugs.
Which they should have called it
my-
Bugs.
Yeah, this movie should not have been related. If they'd have just taken out Silent Night, Deadly Night, just called it Bugs.
Yeah, this is one of those films.
It's a Brian Usna film.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very a lot of body
horror.
Body horror. There's lots of gross things in this movie.
Yeah, I love using the films. I love his use of like body and slime and all that. It's very David Cronenberg without is that much talent. And he always employs Screaming Mad George. And I love that dude's effects.
Yeah. All this stuff is like total body, like Return of the Living Dead 3, Bride of Reanimator, Society. Like all those are just like gross body movies.
Yeah. What's weird about this movie? It's kind of a female empowerment movie, isn't this the one, or is it the fourth one?
No,
This one.
this is the fourth.
This
one.
is the
This is the fourth one.
This is
Steve.
the fourth
I'm
one,
thinking
Steve.
4 or 5, but I can't remember. One of them is just like super woman empowerment, and I believe it's this one.
It is this one because this
Yeah.
movie starts off with our other Ricky, because Ricky gets cast every time. Clint Howard.
Yeah.
The only connection to Silent Night, Deadly Night is that there's a guy named Ricky. He finds a hamburger on the ground.
With no cheese.
He opens it up. It's like, no cheese. And then closes it because it's got bugs on it and starts eating it. And then this lady with half of her body on fire just jumps off a roof.
That's a great beginning.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
that's intense.
It is, but I lost my shit when they show the body chalk outline because like it's only a chalk outline from the fucking waist up. The rest of it's just burned. Because like we're not talking about she's on fire. Like her bottom half melted. Like it was pretty bad. You also get Reggie Bannister in this one.
Yeah.
Mr. Reggie Bannister, everybody.
He's the newspaper boss.
He is the newspaper boss. What else do we have?
And he's
here?
an asshole, too.
Well, Neth Hunter is as Kim. She started her career as a model in Paris from the Hubert du Givenchy. He's a very high couture guy. I don't know, but she's in Fright Night Part 2, Near Dark, Less Than Zero, and Carnosaur 2.
Oh, Carnosaur.
The best of the Carnosaurs.
Yeah, and Maud Adams is a fucking Bond girl.
Yeah, she's Octopussy.
She is Octopussy.
Yeah.
She's also in A View to a Kill, and I think she's in The Man with the Golden Gun. Yeah, she is. Rollerball. I put that on there. I forgot. Alice Beasley is the one with the really annoying voice who's like in Moonlighting with Bruce Willis
Yeah.
and Sybil Shepherd.
I was watching and I was like, man, I've seen her somewhere before. I just can't remember.
Reggie
where.
Bannister. Tommy Hinkley as Hunky Dude Hank. He's the dude that she keeps fucking throughout the whole movie, but still kind of hates.
Oh, yeah.
His biggest role that I remember was in Little Vampire as the dad.
Yeah, we got
that
to talk about this Hank guy too. Like
Yeah.
some things about me, this guy bothers me. I've got a bunch of notes about this movie.
Oh shit! Hit it.
And we don't have to go through everything. Some of them probably just don't make sense. Like we just got bloody nuts with an exclamation point behind it. No, the one guy. She's a reporter. She's trying to be a reporter, right? Our heroine.
And she takes care of the calendar.
Yes, she does the classifieds and she does the calendar. So Kim goes and she's trying to investigate, like, hey, somebody caught on fire. So she goes and talks to this guy. He owns a butcher shop, and like he's
The
like,
Chinese butcher that
Yeah.
does a karate chop on a candy machine to make it work.
Yeah.
I'm like, good job there.
and then
Yuzna.
hands her like bloody nuts. That's why.
He's covered in blood.
And then he wipes off his hands after he hands them to her, like she was the fucking gross one.
And people, we're not talking about him like in the shop. He's on the street
Yeah.
talking to her and be like, yeah, this is what happened. And, the karate chop, I was like, what are you doing, Brian? What are you doing,
Yeah.
buddy? And this is supposed to be a female empowerment movie written by 3 dudes. It doesn't really hold
I
up.
don't
after a
know.
while.
She's like they make her out to be a reporter, but she's like the world's worst reporter. Like,
Well, she's
Like,
she's
how do you
running,
not
starting
know?
out.
she's
God
running the
damn it.
classifieds, dude. She's trying to get her big break.
She
But-
can't figure out that these group of women are like in a
Oh yeah,
cult.
yeah. Because she goes into the bookstore and like she
this.
says she's looking around and fucking Ricky's there being a creep, and everybody's fine with it apparently. And he touches her and she's like, "Get away!" And then the bookstore owner comes over and is like, "Can I help you?" She's like, "I'm looking for a book on spontaneous combustion because you know what? In the 80s and the 90s, you could have caught on fire at any moment."
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
Toby Hooper made a movie about it.
There was a point in my life where I really thought that shit was gonna happen.
It's
It
like-
happened all the time because then we didn't have the internet. We didn't fucking know. We just see all these movies and like ABC does a special report about somebody just bursting into flames.
It's like,
Yeah.
what's the meme? It's like that, quicksand, and Bigfoot.
Yeah. None of those have been relevant in my life at all.
And occult bookstores are on every corner.
Hell yeah.
That's right. That's right. But this is obviously the point where like, are they witches? Is there a witch in the house? Because there's all these ladies come out and they're like, "Oh, you like occult stuff." It's just like
They just come out of the woodwork.
they just come out of the woodwork. It's like, "Oh, you all just hang out in a bookstore all day?"
Well, the first clue is when she pulls out a bowl full of those moths from Silence of the Lambs. It's just like, would you like one of these to eat? She's like, oh, I haven't even had lunch today. Thanks.
That was a
Death's head moth.
It was like a date or something like that.
It's the cocoon.
Yeah,
and
it
it
looks-
really is. It looks
yeah.
just like it.
It's like a cocoon for a bug. And she's
Also,
like,
yeah, I had
yes.
my note: the '80s were really unsanitary because you're just handing out fucking dates in this bookstore, and like she just spits it in her hand. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe after
what do you do?
COVID, I'm just thinking about things way different.
We were tougher in the 80s, Dave.
But one thing that I did notice, like there was a lot of stuff in the background, like they have like these skulls and like faces on the wall and stuff, and it was really cool until they fucking panned directly in on them. It's just like you should have left it in the background.
Yeah, it's
as
not-
something subtle, not like right in your face.
Make it kind of moody, but no.
But then fucking using it kicks it up a fucking notch
Doesn't he?
because this movie there are roaches everywhere. You don't like roaches? This is not the movie.
This is
for
not
you.
your movie. This is an all-female insect-worshipping cult. And it's not half bad, actually. But is it
Yeah.
a Silent Night Deadly movie? Not Silent Night Deadly Night movie? Fuck, no.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at
It's
all.
barely Christmas. The only Christmas scene you get is when her like anti-Semitic, sexist,
Yeah.
drunk dad shows up, and he's like, "Oh, Christmas, you're Jewish. I hate you." Just
Well,
like the whole time, I'm
let me
like,
tell you about Jesus Christ, because she goes to Hank's parents' house and she starts with those weird cocktail wieners, like pigs in a blanket. They're a family recipe. Like, shut up, bitch! You got this from Betty Crocker. Like,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
But yeah, then the dad gets. See, what really fucked me up is like, why does she hang out with this dude? This dude, like, they leave after her dad, like, or after his dad says a bunch of shitty things.
Oh,
to
he's
him.
awful. He's like the
And then
worst. Another anti-Christian movie. He's like, the woman should be in the kitchen, and the woman came from a man's rib, and all. I mean,
Well,
he just spouts all this shit.
The point I was trying to make is he tries to fuck her right in his front of her parents' yard, in the
Oh,
parents'
yeah.
front yard, and like he's like, "Sorry, my dad's Semitic. You want to do it?" No, she doesn't want to do it. I did make some other notes, and I'm going to briefly scan over them because I've got to talk about a few things. One, Yuzna wanted to know what the roach budget was because there's roaches fucking everywhere. She walks into her apartment, right? There are roaches in the sink
huge.
everywhere. Everywhere. She's just like, turns on the faucet, sprays them with the stuff, and then goes down to sits down to eat her food she just prepared. Then she sees one fucking roach in a piece of bread across the way and fucking loses her shit.
Yeah, and I remember her food was like Lovecraft pasta or some shit.
Yeah, it was very. It turned into another symbol, and then there's like another giant roach.
It's on the wall. It's like
and it's
this
on
big.
it's like it's the
It's
size of a
huge.
dog. It's knocking shit over.
Well, you know what else Screaming Mad George did effects for, which was Nightmare on Elm Street 4, which also has a gigantic roach that woman turns into and
Yeah.
gets smashed.
I think this needs to be looked into. Did Screaming Mad George have a roach fetish?
he's
Screaming Mad
got a
George.
bug fetish for sure.
That dude, if you ever watch any interviews with Screaming Mad George, he is a maniac, and I love it. He's not talked about enough. It's like him and Steve Wang.
Yeah.
They need to be fucking like put on a pedestal because they really helped fill in the gaps when it came to lower budget movies that had really good special effects.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is
He
one of
did.
them.
Yeah, that he did.
There are so many things that I really.
He did Arena.
He did Arena. That's right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was- which has big
Guyver?
bugs that fight each other.
Big
Yeah.
Good call. I think we're seeing the connection.
Yeah.
But There were other things in this movie. There was like they do these rituals, and there's giant.
I've got a
there's
note on
giant, yeah. What's your note on
My
this
note
ritual,
is, so
Steve?
Maud, which is the Octopussy, by the way, is the queen of a coven of witches that are working to bring about the mouth birth of a giant cockroach slug that Clint Howard cuts in half and then squeezes the poop out all over Kim's face after she pukes it up. I'm not making this up, by the way. And so you go from a female empowerment movie to a male fantasy splooge fest in like 10 seconds.
Yes.
Good job, Yuzna.
There's so many times in this movie where that woman should have just been like, "I'm out."
Yeah, like
Like,
there was a like she goes into Maud's house and or her apartment.
Yeah.
And
she makes her the tea.
she makes her tea. Mom makes her tea, drugs her, and then gets pissed off when she spills the drugged tea.
Yeah.
It's like, make up your mind. What are you trying to do here?
She drugs the tea right in front of her.
Yeah.
She's just like, oh, let me put this in here.
This is elder bark. Don't worry, it's going to taste a little bit better. You won't remember a thing.
After the whole the weird sploogey face impregnation bug thing comes out of her mouth and she runs away
And then she runs to Hank's.
She runs to her apartment. Hank has the key in. She walks in. He's wearing the most shittiest bedgown I've ever
Motherfucker's
seen.
dressed like Ebenezer Scrooge. How you gonna dress like John Travolta from Grease one day and then Ebenezer Scrooge when you go to bed?
My dead granny would not wear that fucking outfit.
I'm just saying it. I actually made a note about that. But then you get like fucking Ricky comes in, and again, the only way it's connected. There's a guy named Ricky. So you, just mental note.
This is not the same Ricky, but the name is, yeah.
So he comes in. He's like, "I'm taking you back," and blah blah blah.
Well,
no, wait,
he sits on the bed while they're banging.
That's right.
Oh
sorry,
yeah, they start
Clive, yeah.
fucking. The bugs come everywhere. The toilet starts overflowing. It's very Angel Heart.
It should have been a red flag for him, which earlier in the movie she was like, I don't want anything to do with you. And now she's like crazy horny, which should have been like, hey, maybe you changed in the last 24 hours. What's going
Fucking
on?
Clint Howard just comes in and starts watching
sits on the bed.
Andy Griffith's show.
No, he
does.
starts watching. He starts watching part 3 on the TV.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was the inside joke. I was gonna say he sits down, flips on the TV while they're fucking, and just starts watching TV.
Yeah.
It's an XL 100 RCA tube TV, by the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nerd.
yeah. You think? He's just having a ball, man.
And then there's some murders and stuff.
Well,
and-
Hank jumps up. He's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And Clinton smiles and says, "The Santa Claus killer."
Yeah.
Again, the only connection.
Does her friend show up there?
Yeah, her friend.
Well, her friend who helped her get the job at the newspaper,
Yeah.
who worked for the what's her face from Moonlighting.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler: she's a witch too.
They're
Yeah.
all in. They're all in.
They're all in it because
All
you know
in
what?
cahoots.
They want to find out. They want her to be the one. So at this point, is this where they have the weird sex? It is where they have the weird sex orgy.
It gets all eyes wide shut.
Exactly. That's the exact note I made. So they have Clint Howard takes her back, and like you've got
You make
Clint
it sound
Howard-
like they're like in a relationship.
No. takes her
back to the coven.
Takes her back
Yeah.
to the coven, and then he comes out with like
He's wearing the rape fucking mask
Mask.
from a Clockwork
Yeah.
Orange
Clockwork
that Alex
Orange.
wears.
Right.
And what's
Dick
he do?
mask.
Rapes her.
He has sex with
It's
her,
awful.
and you got these old ladies all lathering her up. I'm pretty sure that's how Clint Howard always has sex.
Yeah.
There's like slabs of beef hanging around by Hellraiser chains.
Yeah,
and
it's
shit.
it is the
He
weirdest.
puts a worm in her belly button and it comes out of her mouth.
It's an impregnation like
Yeah.
ritual. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And the makeup is amazing, but it's really hard to watch.
oh yeah, it's fucking weird. And then it goes on. Then from there, she wakes up the next day and fucking butchers with the bloody nuts. It was like, hey, are you okay? And another witch comes out and like, you can go. And then she tries to go on her own way, but guess what? She can't just go do whatever she wants. She has to complete the ritual. What she need to do? She needs to kill a child.
Yeah.
She needs to go get.
We haven't talked about Lonnie.
She go get
Little Lonnie.
little Lonnie. Yeah, Hank's little brother, little Lonnie, the sweet innocent kid. Well, because if she doesn't, she's gonna, from the waist down, burn.
Yeah, because I keep showing this picture of Lilith to her. Lilith is the original wife of Adam in the Bible, and yeah, there's
Yes.
a whole, there's
She
a
has
whole
the what's the name of that book? It's like the Virgin Goddess something book that she gets. From
I've never
there.
read it, Ace. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the
Don't
book
happen
that
to
they
have
give
that
her,
in
yeah.
the collection.
Is that the Harry Potter book? Or?
I don't think so.
It's in the movie. I can't remember. It's like the name.
I
of the
know.
book.
I just don't remember the
And
part.
it's like with the flaming woman. She's like, "This is interesting."
Yeah.
let's
But
let's
that's
see
supposed
what
to be
this
Lilith.
is.
That's the representation of Lilith
Yeah.
that they keep showing to her, and she's like, "What's up with this fire and swirly thing?"
And I forgot to mention, this is where they had a lot of the body horror stuff because, when she was in that meat locker for the night, like she's getting a lot of her hands are doing weird things and her fingers are all melting together. Very society.
Edward penis
yeah, her
hands going on.
Yeah. It's- I mean, a lot of the effects
That comes into play later.
Yeah. I think a lot of the effects were just from society. It's just it's like, hey, we can use this. So what do they do? What does she do? She's like, I'm not gonna go kill that boy, and then she starts catching on fire and gets in the shower because you know what puts out fire? Water. Except if you're spontaneously combusting, because that doesn't help.
No, it's from the
But
inside.
It's like a grease fire. You gotta like.
it's a grease. Yeah, you got to stamp it out. Here, step on my legs.
You need some flour just to put her out with the flour.
So at this point, Ricky comes back and gets her. And he's like, "You got to do this. You're gonna die."
Yeah, Ricky helps her. And,
Ricky helps her because he's a helpful guy.
Yeah, Clint Howard is disturbing as always in this movie.
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah, he's always slimy. He's always like covered in shit.
He looks like that bug. He looks like the bug guy from Hellraiser.
Yeah,
He's just gonna reach in a thing of crickets and just eat them.
yeah. It's like he made this and Ice Cream Man back to back or something because he looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
He always looks like that, Steve.
Not in Rock and Roll High School. He looked very classy.
Well, this was 1990. He's beaten down by then.
Dude, he's been bald since he was in like BJ, or what was that? He was in the.
He's in
Ben,
Star Trek.
or Little Ben or Gentle Ben.
Oh my god!
Like he's been going.
Gentle Ben.
Yeah, I felt bad for being
He's
bald in my
looking-
20s. That kid was bald at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the episode of Star Trek where his voice is dubbed like. It's
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
yeah, he is. He's a little bitty kid too. Little bitty.
But Kim gets. We're not gonna go through the whole thing, but she
It's only like 5 minutes left.
Well,
in
yeah.
the whole movie.
Yeah.
she goes and gets the kid. She's like, "Hey, come outside. We got your brother's in the van.
Yeah.
Your brother's in the van. Go get in the van." And fucking Ricky goes in there and fucking strangles everybody. And he's got a very very Henry portrait of a serial killer moment with
Yeah.
the VHS.
But a lot more fun.
Yeah, a lot more fun, a lot less creepy.
Yeah, him killing the dad was like really awesome. He kills this shithead like sexist, racist fucking old dad. Strangles him in because he's holding the VHS camera and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna film our fantastic holiday."
Yeah.
and then the camera flips and hits, and then you see him getting strangled out, and the lights go out, and why are you looking at me like it's a beautiful scene?
Very symbolic.
The guy deserved it. He was a jerk.
But they get little Lonnie.
You get little Lonnie.
Little Lonnie.
Lonnie's so stupid. They're like, "Get in the van," and then he doesn't just leave. He just jumps in the back. He's like, "Where is it? Where are they?" Anyway,
And Lonnie's name is the actor's Conan Yuzna.
Conan.
Is that Brian Yuzna's son?
Yes,
There's a lot of using.
I did not know
he's
that.
actually in Society.
Well, I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
He's in 4 and 5 of the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies.
Well, at this point, what do you get? You get witches. You get the coven. And now you see that this was all just a big job interview so she could be her new daughter.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, just fill out the resume next time. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the weirdest. This is the hardest. Think if Barnes & Noble did this every time you got a job there.
I
They would
don't know.
have no employees.
It's the weirdest bookstore to meet your family.
Yeah,
Your future family.
So her choice is to kill this kid or, burn. And she's thinking about it. She's thinking about it. And
She combusts.
no, she doesn't.
Well, she
combust.
starts to burn.
Thinking about it for too long.
No.
I thought that she burned up. Her fingers become all jelly lelly, and then she makes like the flesh sword. And
No,
then
she stabs. She stabs
yeah,
the main witch first
Maud, yeah.
with a knife because she's sitting by her like, you gotta
Well,
do this.
that happens too.
Yeah,
like
she's gonna-
I'm going to the like the
all right, fuck it. We'll get to that.
The
So her
icing on the
hands
cake,
go.
dude.
Her hands go to society.
Edward
and-
Pizzer, yeah,
just
penis
fucking-
hands.
She stabs the main witch, kills her.
Is that the end of the story? No.
That's it. She's right. They're all dead. Ricky's dead. All the other witches are like, you must be the one. It's like the end of The Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! It just jumps
Yeah.
around like Superman.
Maybe, I don't know. Watch it.
I know everything. Now I'm going to jump off this building
Yeah, it's
because the mom, jumps off the building in the same place that we find out that this is Maud's daughter who jumped off the building at the beginning of the movie. She lands in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
Oh, the full circle of life.
But like I said, this movie was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sorry I fucking butchered it and bastardized it. But
No,
you
that's
should
good.
you should still watch it if you haven't seen
Silent Night,
it.
Deadly Night movie.
It's not. It's just fucking forget about it. Just say it's the initiation.
Really, if this is like one of those like where they took Hellraiser sequels and basically just had like, we got a script already, just throw Hellraiser in there. We'll
What can we
fucking
do?
release this.
Put CDs out there.
Yeah, so they did this with Silent Night, Deadly Night, and honestly, this movie's really good, and it has that thing in the movie where you're like, there's like somebody out there, and there's a whole bunch of people against him, and they don't realize it.
Yeah.
And I love movies like that.
Very
And I
Rosemary's
like
Baby.
this movie, yeah.
Yeah, you
And
find that everybody's against her.
Yeah, and I love that. Like, especially like you're in there and you think, oh, the friend is here, she's gonna save her, and she's like, what are you doing? We gotta get her out of here. And she's like, you're like, no, she's against her too.
Yeah, she cleans up the apartment where
Yeah.
everybody gets fucking murdered.
Yeah, it's great. And
It's like this coven has a budget because they fix the door, they fix the
Yeah.
windows.
They're carpenters.
They clean up all the blood. It's like the end of American Psycho. Like, everything's fine. You need to leave.
Yeah.
Speaking of being carpenters and making things, Silent Night, Deadly Night 5,
Part 5.
the toy maker.
Yep, directed by Martin Kutrasser, who wrote Friday the 13th Part 3, 4, and 5, I think. And I think he helped Quentin Tarantino on all of his movies. Like,
Yeah.
all of them. Like, he's like the script supervisor on every single movie he's ever put together, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And this one's written by Yuzna, of course. I think he
Yeah.
produced it.
Use
He
that.
produced it. Yeah, he's producer. It was written by him and Martin, and we get to see a lot of our old buddies in this
Yeah.
one too.
Conan.
Conan,
Conan.
Conan,
Conan Yuzna.
Conan Yuzna's back. Zoe Yuzna,
Clint.
Clint Howard
He's back.
as Ricky.
Yeah.
because why not?
Not the same Ricky, but different Ricky.
Neith from the last one, same character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Kim.
plays Kim.
She's back.
She shows up for no fucking reason.
She's been on a Quaalude bender.
Yeah, and this film starts with, bam, another sex scene. I don't know if you notice it or not, but like a lot of these movies either start with like a really weird, a really kind of fucked up sex scene, or one is you're like, another sex scene.
Yeah.
And now young Derek we're introduced to young Derek here,
Yeah.
who watches his parents bang-a-rang.
Yeah. Which is scarring to any kid.
It is fucking thing. It's really awful.
You know what's even more scarring? Watching your dad get murdered after watching him bang your mom.
Yeah, because there's like bing at the front door, and of
Yeah.
course there's a gift in the thing. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna try to open it himself. Wait,
Yeah.
fuck Christmas.
It says don't open till Christmas. He opens it anyways.
It's directed to him, and it says don't open till Christmas.
That's what happens.
Fuck that.
When you open presents too early, your dad dies.
There's a spoiler, guys. Dad comes down the stairs like, what's going on? He's like, oh, it's a gift for me. He shoos him away, opens up the gift, and then what is it? It's a Pokeball.
Yeah. Big ball opens up, kills his dad right in front of him.
It's right in front of him. Take
Dead.
that, kid.
He
That's what you
bops
get.
it on his head, and like a little Santa head pops up, and it like rotates it smiley. And then it
Yeah.
rotates around and goes, frowny Santa. And that's when the arms come out, and it's time to attack Dad. He didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
No, he didn't.
Joe Petto made it.
Joe Petto. Joe Petto, the toy maker.
Yes, we'll get ready to introduce him. So it's been a week later, and Derek is not talking since his dad has been murdered right in front of him. So what's Mom do? Take him to the toy store.
Pretty sure that's what you do when you have a sad child.
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's like, I know
worst
you just
thing.
saw some fucked up shit. Why don't you push that down as deep as it'll go and here, play with this transformer.
Yeah.
Get him a new, what was it, Megatron?
Yeah, get a new Optimus Prime or
Oh, is it
Megatron.
Optimus? Optimus Prime couldn't fly.
No, he
I'm
couldn't.
sorry, Dave.
He could fly. He only flew to the wall. He couldn't see. He wasn't structurally sound is the problem. Oh,
And the store is owned by Joe Petto,
Joe Petto.
who we were introduced to.
Mickey Rooney,
Yeah.
who is playing a guy in Breakfast at Tiffany's who is the most racist character ever in a movie.
And I fucking love that movie, but it's like the scene like from
It's
Evil
awful.
Dead where you have to jump over the tree rape scene. You're like, oh, miss it, go lightly. Nope, fast forward.
This is the point where Mickey Rooney would do anything, though, right?
He would do anything for a paycheck.
And this is the bastard who wanted the people from the first movie to die.
Yeah.
I know you have a quote from that,
Yeah,
right?
he says
Okay.
he wrote a letter in protest against the first movie where he said that the scum who made it should be run out of town for having sullied the sacredness of Christmas. And then it was, oh, how much money will you pay me to be in a sequel to this? Cha-ching.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. So he was in a sequel to this, playing a killer Santa that he wrote about how much he hated.
I know. And he does show up as Santa at the end. We're not spoiling anything for you. Come on, it's the Gore Club podcast. But yeah, his son is named
Pino.
Pino. Wink, wink, nudge,
You
nudge.
get
Say
it?
no more.
Joe Petto and Pino.
I just don't think I would ever take my child to a place called Petto Toys.
Oh, I never put that
I don't want
together.
to.
I never thought about that.
Like, there's your son, man. Look. This doesn't know.
You know that guy
Bad marketing.
Petto. He sells toys to children.
Yeah.
Gross.
Only way it'd be worse if his name was Peter File.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Louis Cyphier.
So, anyways, where do they go?
Pino is played by Bunt from Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, Brian Brimmer, who's also in
great.
Society.
Yeah. He's great. I love him in this movie.
Less body horror in this
He
one.
is. He looks like fucking Negan from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's got like
Leather
the leather jacket and the fucking like
And the red
scarf.
bandana
Yeah.
around his fucking neck. I know. He's really fucking weird, but he's actually a pretty good actor.
Yeah, he makes masks. At the store, scares kids.
He's his own. He's this movie's Tom Savini from Friday the 13th, Part 5 or 4.
Yeah. Then they take that kid. Well, she takes him to the mall to go see the Santas at the mall.
And who's the Santa?
It's
Noah.
Clint Howard.
Clint Howard and Noah.
is
We're
one of them, and Noah.
Yeah, we're introduced to the character Noah at the toy store, who's kind of like following them around. We don't know why yet, but we're going to find out.
Because he's a creepy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tries to hold that kid on his lap while they're like sitting. He's like, "Just stay here." And she's like, "Let go of my kid." And
He
he's
gets
like,
excited.
"No." And it's like,
He gets excited when he sees him. He's like, "I want to be it." And Clint Howard's like, "Okay, go ahead."
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to go on break, and he has to be Santa for some reason.
yeah, it's weird.
I'm just curious, like, so we established that some of these characters are the same. So this is absolutely not the same Ricky from the last one. The
It's
one that
not.
they got eaten by the worms. And just somehow, I mean, we've already established that in this series that you can age 9 years in the matter of 3.
Yeah.
Witches exist. Why can't this be the same Ricky?
Yeah, good point.
He just got eaten by a worm. Who cares? They had witches.
It could have been Ricky.
That's right.
The original Ricky.
And this establishes that it's a Silent Night, Deadly Night film because Ricky is in it and scene.
Yeah.
This is much better Silent Night, Deadly Night movie compared to the last one, which has nothing to do with Christmas until the
Yeah.
end because she's supposed to have the baby.
Yeah.
The new whatever incarnation of the world killer through the through the witch
virgin
cult.
goddess.
And then she shows up in this movie to her friend and she's like, "Whew, I've had a bad day."
Yeah.
Same character, and she adopted Lonnie, who she saved from the last film.
Yeah.
So it
Now,
is.
we're skipping through the fuck out of this movie because I mean we're coming to the end of our podcast episode, but the whole point is like this is much better Silent Night Deadly Night movie.
Yeah, if anything, if you watch anything with this movie, the ending of this movie is the best part of it, and everything that leads up to it is awesome. Like it hits a lull a little bit in the middle, and then you get towards they start. So there's the boyfriend and the girlfriend are having sex,
Of course,
As you do.
and all the toys start coming to life because they're made by Joe Petto.
yeah, he
He's
sneaks
a fucking
in.
creep.
He sneaks in.
the house.
Mickey Rooney sneaks in with his Santa suit and just dumps them somehow silently while they're fucking their brains out.
Yeah.
into a hardwood floor area, and he's just like, "Go get them, guys."
Yeah, and it's like a hand.
Yeah.
There's just a hand that's crawling up, and the guy's like, "Oh, baby," and he's just like all over her back, and he's like, "Yeah."
And they keep moving the hand around in different
The
parts of
hand
each other's
keeps going,
bodies.
Yeah,
Different hands and then
There's
fucking
a-
Buzz Lightyear's going up his asshole.
yeah. There's like a tank. There's a couple other things. They all shoot stuff.
They all shoot stuff.
Yeah, they
there's
all
like
shoot
army
stuff.
men. There's a dinosaur. There's a hand, like the hand that makes no sense. I love that.
It's like that scene from, it's just like the scene from Toy Story where that Sid kid gets.
It's exactly like that.
I'm waiting for John Ratzenberger to be like, "It's crazy in here."
Yeah, except a little bit more violent. I don't think there was no sex in Toy Story, so never
No.
mind. It's nothing like that.
Not the version you saw.
Well, tell us about the ending, Ace.
Well,
Steve.
Well, Steve.
Well, Steve.
Whenever
It's funny that you asked that.
So she goes back. She finds out Joe Petto steals little Lonnie, puts him in a Christmas bag, puts him in Santa's sack,
Oh God.
takes him back to the toy store.
That kid's been through a lot at this point. Witches, and now he's got fucking Joe Petto.
Joe Petto has kidnapped him. Which, when you get back to the Petto's toys,
I wonder if he jumped in the Petto van.
yeah, gets in the Petto toy van.
This is what they find that like there's the dungeon underneath the whole fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that where the whole battle at the end happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
They walk down there, finds out, takes the mask off.
Pino.
Joe Petto is Pino.
It's Pino.
Pino killed Joe Petto.
I fucking knew it.
Oh shit! That's the plot twist I was waiting for.
Well, that's not the twist. Because the twist is Pino's a real boy.
He wishes he wants to. Oh, that's okay. This is what's fucked up. Again, like I just said, there's so many like weird sex scenes. Then it's his mother. He wants to it's like they're all
Yeah.
connected.
He just wants a mom.
Right. So what's he do? He rapes his mom.
Yeah, he tries to bang his
What
mom.
the fuck, Brian Usna?
Punish.
As
That dude, that dude.
As you
yeah.
notice, when he pulls his pants down, he's smooth like a Ken doll, so he does not have the parts.
He's just rubbing
to
on
do
her,
this.
which is great because it gives her time to get a weapon and kick his fucking ass.
Yeah. But he's just like, he looks exactly like you would take the clothes off of a Barbie doll, and he's just like plastic and like pieces. But somehow this guy, Joe Petto, was smart enough to make a living, breathing robot that could just rape a person, because that's what you would do if you make a robot. Was
I guess
If-
I'd rather have to like giant number 5 just drive me around.
That's weird. He's like toy horse, evil robot,
Yeah. I want to make an evil
roller
robot,
skates,
son.
murdering robot. This is
the rocket skates were pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
rocket skates.
Yeah.
were-
So we find out that Mickey Rooney's character makes these evil toys to kill kids.
Because he lost a kid of his own.
Exactly. Oh, you kind of feel bad for this piece of shit. No, you don't.
He couldn't have a kid, therefore every child on the planet must die.
This movie is much better than part 3.
Yeah. I really didn't see that. I've heard a little bit about this movie, but when we get to the end and he like takes his clothes off and he's just like a robot Ken doll, I was just like, holy shit, this is like totally worth watching just for this one scene at the end of this movie.
It's all about the ending.
This
Yeah.
series really hits its stride at the end.
Yeah. They really go out with a bang on part 5.
Well, I had seen it a long time ago because Sven Gulli actually played it on his show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, since Sven Gulli is an old horror host out of Chicago, and he played it on his show. And this is the second Sven Gulli because there was originally one from the early 70s, and then the show ended, and then this new guy, Rick Koss, took it over in 1980 and still does it on MeTV.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your plug, Sven Gulli.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for introducing me to this fucked up movie that's heavily edited.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get to see him say like, mommy, mommy, at the end of the movie.
Oh my God, humping away on it's just that's so disturbing. But
Yeah.
you expect that from a Brian Usna movie.
Yeah. But Mickey Rooney didn't have any issue with that, though. He was in this movie. There's no issue with that.
No, nothing, no problem.
He wanted
As
to
long
keep
as he
his
gets
legs.
paid.
God. So that is our Silent Night Deadly Night episode, everybody. Are you happy? Happy fucking holidays.
I know I am. I
Oh.
feel like a better person for watching part 4.
I don't know. I'm like a skin doll down here. I'm all smooth and
You're all
silky.
smooth. There's nothing that got you excited today. You're just smooth and silky. But before we go,
Damn it, Dave. I'm never gonna learn my lesson.
I would say what's your favorite one in the series?
But I think that's easy.
But that's easy. And what your favorite kill is in the series?
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Favorite
Yeah.
kill.
What's your
yeah.
favorite kill in the series?
I know what. I'm not going to go for the obvious Linnea Quigley's, and I'm not going to go for the one that I know, which is the beheading from the ski guy. I'm going to go with Garbage Day.
That's multiple kills.
Not because it's actually a good kill, because it's so iconic and it's so stupid. It's only one guy actually. The guy's taking out his trash and he puts down the trash can and he goes, "It's Garbage Day," and just shoots him.
Have you
from
feel
part
like
2.
shit if you
That guy's reaction to that is what makes that scene for me, because the guy's so confused as to what's going on.
I would be too.
He goes,
early in the
garbage
morning."
day, and the guy goes, "What? No."
No, it's not. It's recycling day.
Yeah, what if he was wrong? Would he be like, take 2, sorry, get up, buddy? Oh, shit.
Ace.
Ace, what's
Oh.
your favorite
Oh no,
kill?
you don't get out of this, buddy.
Oh, it's definitely the umbrella through the guy.
Yeah, that was
and
a good
he,
one.
releases the umbrella, and then it pops out with the blood.
So
all
we're
over
all
it.
just going with part 2.
Are we? Yeah. Is that what yours is too?
No,
That's
no,
insane,
I'm gonna go with Clint Howard killing Hank. It was fucking weird, man. It was weird. It was weird because it was just like he's just torturing them the whole time.
Yeah.
He's just like he's just stabbing him like right in the chest. Like,
Oh yeah,
And
that's
he-
weird.
and he's just like, okay,
he's
so
like, he's like, stop.
Hank
Leave
is
me
the
alone.
Hank is the boyfriend from part 4, right?
Yeah, Hank is
okay,
what.
yeah.
Like I thought, I mean, it wasn't like as brutal, but it was in a way because he like stabs him a couple times. He's like, "Please stop stabbing me."
Yeah, while they're in the kitchen, he gets there. He overpowers him, and little bitty Clint Howard gets him, and he just stabs him, and he starts, "Please stop." So then he attacks him again in the bedroom.
No, he tells him to leave him alone. Yeah. He was perfectly. He was gonna leave him alone. He's just gonna go get Kim and just fucking leave. But no, he had to, and then you don't really get to see it, but you can only imagine because when he dies, you see Kim's under the bed. He's standing, Hank's right there, and fucking Clint Howard gets on a stool, I guess, gets behind him, cuts his neck open, carves him up.
There's like a mountain of blood.
But that,
or I guess
that scene,
waterfall
that
of blood,
scene,
whatever.
That scene just it wasn't like the coolest like effect, but like it was very effective because
weird.
He's just weird. He just stabs him a couple times. He's like, "Oh, stop stabbing me," and he's like, "Leave me alone."
Yeah, it's like a steak knife. He's just
he stabs him several times.
Over and over and over. And these sequels just keep going. We haven't even gotten to the remake, and we won't be able to.
No.
Silent Night, which actually, I liked that remake a lot. I was very surprised.
I've seen bits and pieces.
It's brutal as fuck.
Yeah.
There are scenes that are just like the original film. It's got, what's her name from Sin City and the My Bloody Valentine remake. She did this one as well.
Yeah. Malcolm McDowell.
No, that's not her.
Wait, no,
That's not her name.
No. Malcolm, he's in it though, right?
Yeah.
From Clockwork Orange. And
I was, he's the cop. And is it Jamie Priestley? Is that her name?
is she in that?
I can't remember.
The cover of it is like the
I'm
thing
on
I
the
remember
spot
the most.
every time that happens.
It's like Santa Claus with like a flamethrower on the front of
Right,
it.
right. And it's really good slasher holiday movie. It's not Santa's Sleigh, though.
Oh, Santa's Sleigh. I only know the first the first 10 minutes.
The first
of
10
Santa's
minutes when they
Sleigh.
spent their whole budget, they're like, Fran Dresser, James Caan, fucking Chris Kattan, you guys are here. Just get in there. And they didn't even tell him Bill Goldberg's gonna bust through the wall.
Are you looking it up for us, Corey?
I'm trying.
Silent Night. Is that actually all it's called?
Oh, okay. Because there's one called Silent Night that came out in 2012, and then
Yeah, that's
apparently
That's it.
there is another Silent Night, Deadly Night remake set for release in 2022.
Oh, that's awesome. That's why you're here.
Oh God.
Who's the actress in part
better not
in
be
2012?
Jamie King.
Jamie King.
Jamie King.
Corey for the win. Jamie King. Jamie Presley. I'm putting fucking Anatolian people together.
Whatever.
Well, thank you guys for coming hanging out. Happy holidays. I'm glad none of our stories were completely awful.
I can tell more. I'll tell a more awful one after the holidays.
Oh shit! Yeah, unlike some of these sequels, but this is probably one of the worst franchises I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's bad.
The first movie is a 10 for me. Like
You don't
I
think
love
so?
the first movie.
I don't know, man. I've seen some pieces of shit out there before.
Yeah, you know what? We haven't even talked about like all of the bad George Romero sequels to the Dawn of the Night of the Living Dead because there's a lot. All the shot on video ones, and oh man,
Yeah.
If you really want to get branch out like Day of the Dead remakes and Dawn of the Dead subs, oh god, they keep making those things.
Now you're just wish listing like you shouldn't do on Christmas. Anyways,
Take us out of here, Dave.
We're gonna get out of here. You can find us on Anchor FM, Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Verbal.com, Facebook,
Tubi.
YouTube, Twitch. I don't know. No, we're not doing
Instagram.
We're Instagram, and Steve's doing a TikTok thing. I guess I don't know.
I do it every once in a while.
Okay, so we've got that too, and thank you for all the countries that are listening to it. Well, all the people in the countries, several countries that are listening to us, and I don't know. Merry Christmas, whatever.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.